Hi Danielle, I'm super excited to have you here today. Just sitting here, we go way back, high school, 2003, Riverdale High School. We went to college together, Albany State. Let's just start off. Tell me a little something about who Danielle is.
Well, Danielle is a second grade teacher for Clayton County Public Schools. I have two children, Tristan and Evan, and they are 6 and 3. My passion is teaching because I feel that no one should be left behind. All children have the right to learn and they are capable of it.
So I know that you had a little girl, Taylor, and I remember coming to the house and spending time with Taylor. Tell me what it was like being pregnant with Taylor.
When I was pregnant with Taylor, first let me say, the day I found out that I was pregnant was on my 21st birthday. So that right alone was nerve-wracking. Like I'm 21, I'm getting ready to be a mommy. That was scary. So to be pregnant at 21 and to find out that she had that she was going to have so many disabilities was a little nerve-wracking. It definitely hurt my heart to know that she would suffer, but that I would always be there for her. So I love being pregnant, especially with her, little girl.
So what was it like once you had her?
Challenging, because when I first had her, she stayed in the hospital for the first month. So when I was discharged from the hospital, that hurt my feelings to the extreme. It was like, I just gave birth and I have to leave her. So I would have to keep going back to the hospital each day. They would tell me when I could come back and what progress she made or what progress she wasn't making. But it was hard. It was hard to leave her there. It was hard when she came home, knowing that I would have to do everything because of her disabilities.
And what disabilities did Taylor have?
She had epilepsy and cerebral palsy, so she wasn't able to stand or sit up alone or feed herself. I would have to sometimes feed her through a tube. So that was difficult as well.
I know that it was a big deal and it was hard for you to come today and to break your silence and talk about Taylor, and I know how much you loved her. I got a chance to see you interact with her. So tell me about leading up to Taylor's passing.
Well, Taylor was sick. Maybe she kept getting sick. Like I thought it was like a little cold. So we would go back and forth to the hospital, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and they would send us back home. Well, the night that she actually passed, we went to the hospital that night and they knocked her fever down and they sent us home. Now, once we got home, the only thing that was wrong was that she just kept crying. I couldn't understand why she kept crying or what was wrong with her. She would be dry, she would be fed. So I didn't understand why she kept crying. So I would keep going to her room, keep checking on her, kept checking on her. And the last time I got up and checked on her, it was like I was in a movie. She was there, her eyes were open, and she was just cold. And I just ran to the phone and called 911, and they're telling me how to do CPR on my little girl, and I'm like, I need somebody here. I need somebody here to help me. But I did what I could. The ambulance and the police officer came. They came pretty quickly. They escorted me out. They continued to try to work on her, but eventually they came outside to tell me that she was gone. And in that moment, it was just like, no, and I just couldn't fathom that we just left the hospital and we came home and now she's gone. So that took me through a extreme loop and hurt me more than I've ever felt hurt.
And then you're still young, in your early 20s, and you're left to pick up the pieces of your life. And I remember being there with you at the funeral and the hurt that was on you, and it was devastating. And I remember your mother calling me and saying, you know, if you could just talk to Danielle, if you could just give her a call. She's in a really deep depression. Tell me about that state of depression that you were in.
The depression that I faced was I didn't want to get out of the bed. I didn't want to face reality, because the reality was that I lost my child and she was not coming back. I was angry. I was furious. I was furious with God for a long time. It felt like, how could he bless me with her only to let me have her for a short time and then take her away? So the selfish part of me was angry. So I stayed in the bed. I drank a lot. I could go through maybe 2 bottles in one day because I just didn't want to feel anything. When I started to get the drugs, the antidepressants, the sleeping pills, and then I was still drinking, so then it became dangerous. But back then, I didn't care. In my mind, I was at the end of my own road. Like, I didn't want to be here because I didn't have her. So there were many times where I just gave up and just said, to hell with this. I'm just gonna lay here and die. I'm gonna take these pills, I'm gonna drink this, and I'm just gonna lay here and die so I can be with Taylor.
You stayed in this low place. How many times did you attempt suicide?
Maybe twice.
Mm-hmm.
I drove after drinking and taking a pill, was pulled over by the police and everything. He asked me, was I okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. My baby just died. It just hurt so bad to have to go through that.
So what has the process of healing been like for you?
Day to day, each day is different. I've learned that it's okay to cry. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be upset. But I can't be so upset to where it overpowers me and then I'm knocked down for the entire day or days or weeks or months. I can't do that.
Right.
I need to have my moment, suck it up, and move on. Because I just knew that this just wasn't the path for me to wallow up and just shiver up and die. I had to continue to pray about it, forgive myself for being so angry with God, because I know that he has his plan for me. And what my plan for me and my child was not his plan. So I had to remember that and pray on it and continue to have that strength. And one day I woke up, I went back to work. I said, this is not my life. This is not who I am. When you lose hope, you lose everything. I was there and I picked myself up, and it was like God said, it's your time. It's your time to talk about it. Mm-hmm. This is your final step of your healing process.